mentioned in the book yesterday was fall, but if you stepped outside yesterday, it didn't feel like it. We got into the 70s for many of us, even into the lower 80s, especially around the Twin Ports going south along the I-35 corridor. So it was quite a warm one. However, we had a cold front come through, and this morning quite a bit of a different story. We have warmed up a little bit this morning. We're now getting more into the 50s, especially northwest Wisconsin around the Twin Ports, but northern Minnesota, still quite a few of us into the 30s. We even saw some places get below freezing. So quite a chilly morning as you get up if you are in northern Minnesota. And we're going to see the winds come back as we get later on today. We're going to see them not coming out of the southwest and west. We're going to see them coming more off the east, off of Lake Superior. This is going to inform what our high temperatures are going to be as we get going into the day. Like I mentioned, by Lake Superior, a little bit more mild this morning, but once we get into the afternoon, it's going to be cooler. We're going to be into the 60s, lower half of the 60s by Lake Superior. As we go further inland, we're looking more into the upper half of the 60s, getting into the low 70s for those highs. So a little bit still on the warm side when it comes to what we expect this time of year, but compared to the summer-like heat we've been feeling, it is going to feel quite a bit more mild outside. And if you're looking at the temperature anomalies there, it is still a little bit above average, but the big thing about this is I'm going to pull this forward all the way out into next week, and notice this warm blob of air just want to stick around. Look, if I'll pull this off to Thursday, it's just really sticking around, so the warm air has nowhere to move. It's not going to get out of here anytime soon. In fact, on Monday, one of the warmer days, we're going to see once again 70s, lower 80s will be possible. So it looks like some of the summer heat really wants to hang in there into October. In fact, earlier, a few weeks ago, I talked about when we had a little bit of a heat wave towards more the beginning of September after the cool temperatures we've had. I did mention that we're probably not going to see summer-like heat again unless we push records or even break them. Well, we've been seeing that summer-like heat again, and we are really close to breaking some records, so we just have to keep an eye on if we do break records. But we're now talking about when it comes to rain, and not going to be seeing it right now, at least as we get into the afternoon. Not going to see much clouds either. It's going to be a really nice sunny day, kind of like what we saw yesterday. We will have another cold front come through, though, and it's going to be weak, so it can bring a little bit of shower action to northern Minnesota, but overall, mostly just going to bring clouds, and it's not going to really cause much of a disruption if it even does bring rain to northern Minnesota. And by the time we get into the afternoon tomorrow, going to be seeing more sunshine. That's going to be the trend going into next week, though. We'll probably start to see some more clouds, and we'll start to see some more rain chances start to make their way in, especially as we get into the beginning of next week. That's because we have a system out here in the Gulf of Alaska. Going to send that instability over the Rockies here, but it's going to be pushing up against here this really robust high pressure system moving down from the Hudson Bay, and it's going to be moving over the Great Lakes region. Now, this high pressure system wants to keep moving south. However, tropical development there that's going to be in the Atlantic is going to push up against it. High pressure systems and low pressure systems don't get along, so it's going to probably help amplify and stall the high pressure system over the Great Lakes region thanks to that tropical development. So through next week, it looks like we're mostly going to stay dry. However, we can see a little bit of isolated showers here and there, especially for the western half of the Northland as we get into next week, especially around Tuesday and going around Thursday. Those days are peak, and mostly moisture going to be moving up and around the high pressure. Looks like when it comes to a more substantial rain chance, we have to wait until the coming weekend. But until then, if you look at our 7-day forecast, mostly going to be staying dry overall. Outside of those few rain chances we'll start to see, and we're going to have plenty of warmth to go along with it. With that, we have more coming up here after the break.